instead, you have saved your household.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't just save her husband. Again, she saved the household.
Yeah.
And it's something to be said about that. That she had a genuine care, not just for her husband. I believe that she did. But she also had a genuine care for the servants. So much so that the servants came to her and said, your husband didn't cut up. He didn't done something else really dumb.
Yeah.
And but they knew, I believe, that from her personality and her care, that she would know what to do, and she did.
Yeah.
She did not disappoint.
Yeah.
She saved not only her household, but I mean, not only her husband, but the entire
At that
household.
for the moment, she saved
Yes, she did. Uh-huh. And even with that, like, I mean, it's only so far you can go when it
it.
comes to
Right.
the sovereignty of God.
Correct.
Yeah.
But again,
What did Maria say? I'm
but
sorry.
again, going to what you're saying, at the end of the day, she did her part to make sure her household stayed together. And again, I don't think he was. I think he was foolish in how he was in the city. I don't think he was foolish towards her in terms of having her in a. She wasn't in a harmful way or an abusive
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
situation.
yeah,
You
yeah.
you
No,
feel what I'm
no, no,
saying?
no. Yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah,
makes
yeah.
it easier
Yeah, he was not abusive at all.
towards her.
Let me go back.
To what we know, the
Yeah,
scripture doesn't say.
the scripture doesn't say.
So,
But wait. But when reading it several times, we do see where there was emotional and spiritual neglect. You can see, like, you have to read
mhm.
the text, but yeah.
So she does highlight the scripture I was looking at in First Peter 3, where it talks about winning. Like it says, so the King James. I'm such a word thing. Um, that in the King James it said that your life may save your husband.
Mhm.
It never said it will. It
Mhm.
said you may save him or you may win him over with your chase conversation. So we always want to be in the may,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like
Mayday,
for
mayday.
for you and your house. And you have and we you have to be wise. What does may save them look like for my house?
Mm.
Does may save them meaning I may and again I'm not does separating for a minute may does that will
Give space for
may give
May.
space?
Mhm.
And if that's the case, then I would suggest or encourage that all the more you spend more time praying for your spouse
Mhm.
because you're not in the house.
And
And
yourself too.
because
Mhm.
in the text, Paul is saying that when for the believing spouse tonight, he's like, I don't want y'all to leave because you bring holiness to the marriage. That does not mean you bring salvation to your spouse. It
Mm.
just means that your spouse has a better opportunity for God to work with them because they are seeing a a clear visual of God's grace and love with them, for them there. Um, yeah. Anyway, I was trying to go deep, but try to be deep, but never
It's
mind.
okay.
That's
That's
good.
all good. It's
Yeah.
all good. So yeah, but yeah, in the midst of Abigail, I love how Maria, you said that her identity was not in her husband, though I believe that her character was built as a result of being married to him, because she could have very well joined in with him. But instead, she chose to follow to the T, the God of Israel. She held true, and she did what she had to do, even in the midst of where it was not the most conducive conditions.
I like poking the bear. It's not really poking the bear, but I like asking questions that are like, that ain't it. The spouse that you have,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe, and you don't have to answer in the comment, do you believe that that's your assignment from God? You know what I mean? Like the spouse that you have, do you believe that that's who God wanted you? So good. And it's dangerous. Do you believe that's who God wanted you to be married to because he wanted to make sure that he is just in his judgment toward them at the end of the day? That at the end of the day, they can't say. So this is I'm looping it in a way. So Sodom and Gomorrah, and then you have Nineveh. Sodom and Gomorrah had a righteous man among them the whole time, and they ignored it because I had a person that was kind of questioning why God would do. So why did God destroy Sodom and Gomorrah and not destroy Nineveh and give them an opportunity? Nineveh never had anybody in the midst of them for them to see righteousness portrayed before them or lived out before them. Neither had they had a prophet to ever come to them. So they
Mm.
have nothing about God.
Mm.
Sodom and Gomorrah, it said it vexed Lot day by day, seeing the way that they live in their lifestyle.
Mm.
So that when God became to give judgment, there's no excuse for Sodom and Gomorrah because they saw within their own eyes. And we see, and we look in the Bible, we see city, we think like New York and stuff like that. Those cities aren't really that big. They may be a
It's more so
neighborhood,
neighborhood. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or an apartment complex. That's the city. You know what I'm saying? But they saw it over and over again. Nineveh had nobody to preach to them. So yeah, God is merciful and just that let me send someone to Nineveh to give them the message
Mm-hmm.
before I do to them what and there you go. But now Solomon, like, bruh, y'all got somebody living among you
Uh-huh.
regularly and you're still doing. What if that's your job? I know about like, nah, God ain't doing that now. That ain't me. I don't care what I'm just saying, could it
He's
be?
still saving souls,
Could it
and
be?
he has still assigned us two souls. Come
This is your
on.
assignment
Yeah.
and
For the full unedited version of the podcast, consider becoming a Patreon member for as little as $5 a month. With the membership, you will gain access to be able to ask questions during a live podcast. So click the link below to join now.